Okay, let's hope that this works. If you know me, you know it's a good day whenever I have my boba tea. And the sun is shining, my freckles are getting darker, my skin is getting darker. Like, wow. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Ah, just a tad bit chilling. My eczema been acting up. Um, I'm at my favorite local park. Um, and I don't know, kind of in a little chatty mood. Um, the dedication to go get this went to go ride my bike 30 minutes in total, but that's nothing for me. It's light work. I've done a half a century for fun. No, it wasn't really for fun. I was training to be a cyclist, but um, I always wanted to make videos. I'm like coming into age or before I turn a certain age, and I've honestly always been pretty lazy to do it, or sidetracked, or always procrastinate, right? But I was recently thinking about, I see a lot of people posting on social media about them turning like 30 something or 30 in general, and that's when their lives actually started. Okay. I forgot, right next to the airport. But we don't have to wait for a second. But yeah, please pardon my chewing. But people saying that their lives really started when they entered their 30s. And I'm really starting to understand that. You know, the more time goes by, I'm looking forward to my 30s. I'm not rushing it, obviously. And not for the reasons that you might think. Like, I don't care about aging. I already know my crow's feet. They're going to be prominent because all I do is smile, right? And that's a blessing. It's all about your perspective, right? If you feel like it's all right, another one? Damn! I forgot how many flights there are a day. But anyways, so it's all about your perspective. If you feel as though you are afraid to age, it's like, why do you feel afraid to age? And I know I'm not afraid to age because of my looks, because obviously black don't crack. Like, I got on sunscreen right now. I take very good care of my skin. It's such a pretty bird. Wish y'all could see. I don't want to mess up my focus, but damn. Damn. I always get sidetracked so quickly. But yeah, so it's all about your perspective. I realized that my fear of aging was feeling like I was running out of time. And I feel like that's almost everybody. And feeling as though their prime is like early 20s, 20s in general. When in actuality, your prime, I don't want to sound cliche, right? But your prime is really when you start to realize that you're never going to be out of time. Your prime in actuality is when you start to click, when it starts to click that consistency is key. And we got another one. We got another one. I don't even see it coming, but I know it's there. Well, I'm gonna just keep rolling. But and I realized when I felt like I was running out of time, that's when I hindered my growth. Because I felt, okay, well, if I'm almost out of time, why even bother? And that's a horrible mindset to be in. I think that's like self-sabotage. That's really self-sabotaging your self-development in whatever way, shape, or form it may be. The 10 years of your 20s may be you doing one thing. Then the next 5 years in your 30s, maybe you trying something else. And then the next couple of years after that, you're realizing, hey, I actually didn't want to do any of that. And you find a different path. Like, you're never too old to do something. But what I will say is, the sooner you realize you need to be consistent, All right. Yo, this is actually not a good place to film. Let me reframe that. The sooner I realized that I need to be consistent is when I started realizing that's why I felt like I was out of time. Because I was never consistent in anything. I didn't finish school. I'm finishing this year, God bless. But I always felt like, okay, well, if I'm not gonna finish before 24, why would I even bother? And that's the, once again, horrible mindset to have. But I just started redirecting what my goals are and realizing what my goals are. Not what society says my goals should be, not even what my parents, right? Because even when I just, for like lack of better words, said, fuck what anybody thinks, right? Especially my parents, that's when I started realizing, okay, I'm gonna start living for myself. When I started pole dancing, it's right before it started becoming popular, right? And it was still between that cusp of, liberation and people still seeing it as taboo. And I just really wanted a way to explore my sexuality and my femininity. And I think there's such grace in pole dancing that combines the two and the strength that it takes. And I wanted to explore that. And I was able to really find out a lot about myself through that. And then now, my parents, obviously they're so supportive of it. But it really just takes you starting and being consistent. And I feel like I'm ranting right now, right? But all in all, I really thought about the things that I have regretted not doing. You never regret doing things. For the most part, it depends on what you do, right? And I think more so if it goes against your morals, you will regret it. But you never really regret doing things. You more so regret not doing things. And that's when I really started realizing, especially after college, nobody's clocking exactly what you're doing. And if they are, they're not focused on themselves enough. They're really not focused on their own goals enough. So when I see people say, oh yeah, I wouldn't want to do this because of how I'm perceived, I'm so grateful I got over that mindset. Because who cares? You think you're that important on this big ass rock? You think you're that important on this huge ass rock? That's a speck within this galaxy. You think you're that important? Go and do what the fuck you want to do. Please. Life is really so finite. We're already in May. This year just started. I'm still in the mindset of when I was in my early 20s. Like, in the pandemic, I would say it's partially to blame for that. But, I feel as though there's so much that I have learned in the past couple of years, and there's so much more to learn. There's so much more to learn, right? And I'm grateful for every step, right? Because every step, what's Skepta say, for every L, I turned it into a lesson and made it a W, made it a win. Yeah, because that's what you have to do. It's either that or you stay down. And I don't want this to turn into a motivational speech. I think I'm just making this for myself. And if I post it and people resonate, so be it, right? I love that. But my main thing is consistency. And I would say finding one thing you want to do, because the time is going to pass. The time is going to pass. The time is going to pass. The time is not waiting for you. It's not waiting for anybody else. It's not waiting for me. The time is going to pass. So just start. Everybody feels like they have to be perfect before they start. You do not. Shoot, you don't even have to be perfect to actually, the way things are looking right now, you don't even have to be perfect to get booked. There's so many, I'm not going to say anything really, but There's some people that really are bad at their jobs, but they fake it till they made it, right? And it worked out for them. And I think that also includes the self-confidence you have. That's why it's better to start now than later, because perfecting your craft, or even better yet, becoming consistent at your craft, makes you feel much more comfortable doing it. Because somebody who has done something for 5 years knows it like the back of their hand. They may not have the natural talent, but they still know it more than somebody who just started, right? And then now let's take that person who has a natural talent for it, but they feel so critical of themselves that they don't even want to start because they're afraid that they might not be their best self. You can't be your best self yet, but you better show up as your best self. Do you understand the difference? Like, there's a difference between being at your peak, right? Whatever people say your prime is, has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with consistency and your dedication. Versus somebody who is really just doing it and they're not putting their, like, there's no consistency, right? They just did it to do it, and they end up being better than the person with the talent. There is so much, what do you call it? Your personal development has to do with consistency. That's what I will say. Yeah. I don't know. I always like to make these videos to look back on and just say, wow, look how far you've come, you know. And as a Leo, I don't need anybody to give me praise. I give myself praise. You see the sun giving me praise right now. Thank you. Thank you, mamas. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, let me just go sip my boba tea. See if I could show the scenery. Got my nice little bike. It's so nice outside. But maybe I'll start filming more. Maybe, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I just know I'm gonna do it. And that's the point of this video. I'm gonna try to be consistent at the very least. Baby steps, right? Doesn't have to be every day. I think that's a little bit of a drag. But whatever goal I set, I've learned to start off small. And I learned that's the best way to be consistent. You can't jump off the roof and expect to land on your feet. They're gonna be broken and shattered, right? I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but anyways, y'all get me. But yes, hope you have a lovely day and go out and enjoy some nature. It's so beautiful. It's May. The sun is gonna stop setting. Well, yeah, stop setting. The sun is gonna start setting around 8 for the next couple of months. Summertime is here. You gotta enjoy it. Yes, so go outside, get some fresh air, go for a little walk, But yes.